All people have an opportunity to know God through God's nature and God's creation. Did you know that? The book is clear. It says, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. The magnificence of God's creation reflects his sovereign majesty. Like a flower. All kinds of birds and insects, the weather with its clouds, rain, lightning, thunder. Lightning, so cool. Lightning. What makes that? Some kind of electrical field interaction there. Lightning. And then space with all its planets and moon and sun. And our own bodies. Incredible machines our own bodies are. They're amazing, especially the recuperative powers that it possesses. 2 weeks ago, I dropped a 10-pound weight. I'm limping here. And the board guy was nice enough to say, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" Now, he asked me, I forgot what he said. What did he say? He just noticed that I was gimpy a little bit, and I should have wrote it down. But he did notice. It's very nice of him. But I dropped a 10-pound weight on my toe. Okay, board guy, now you know the reason. And the whole toe turned black. My whole toe turned black. Like a nail. When you just hit the nail, the whole nail turns black and falls off. I'm wondering if my big toe's going to fall off. Well, I felt like that when it hit. You know, if my big toe's going to fall off, then what? What am I going to do then? I suppose I could use it as a fishing bobber. But eventually the color came back and, you know, it looks as good as new, although it still hurts. You know, good as new as a 60-year-old big toe can be. But nature is beautiful. And remember, science, as we well know by now after 3 years, science can only describe these wonders of nature and never explain how they got there, who made them, and how and why there got to be such incredible and unimaginable synchrony between and among all these moving parts. The amazing order and design. We need to take the time to observe this. We're so busy. We're so hectic with things, running around with chickens without their heads cut off like they used to. What's that expression? Something like that. I mean, take time to notice, like a common housefly. They're amazing, built with intricacies and purpose. The book says, all the earth worships you and sing praises to you. They sing praise to your name. So if you want to see God exist, then simply open up your window and hear the birds chirp. Provided, of course, you could open it. You know, in some of these very old houses, windows used to be painted shut, and you force them open. At least you try to, and you just can't open them. But yet, bugs still get into my room. Amazingly, how's that happen? How do they get in there? You know, I'm laying in bed. I noticed a spider on the ceiling, looking down on me, just laughing at me. Waiting for me to fall asleep so he can slip down on his silk into my mouth. Gross. And let's appreciate the oceans with all its amazing sea creatures. From a minute little minnow to a huge, gigantic whale. This stuff is breathtaking. And as I said, take the time to smell the roses. Literally, smell the roses. Feel the petal. The texture of the petal, so delicate, and the fragrance. There's so many things like this every day we can notice. So we need to slow down, stop to notice and appreciate. To realize that obviously something is more at play here than just us and our little minute everyday difficulties and problems of life. There's got to be something more here. It's in our face every day. The book says, since the creation of the world, invisible realities, God's eternal power and divinity have become visible, recognized through the things he has made. Just look at the sunsets and the sunrises. Look at a 50-foot tree grown from a quarter-inch seed or less. Can you explain that or create that on your own from scratch? Of course you can. That's God at work there. These huge trees, gigantic trees, sequoias and everything else. Huge trees from little seeds. And these seeds evidently die first before they grow. And that sounds contradictory. Sort of like when you're told by your baseball coach, you got to learn how to lose before you win. Which is true and sounds all pretty. But he kept saying that throughout the whole season. We were 0-8. I'm thinking, well, when are we going to win? Ever? We know how to lose. We're getting pretty good at it. So the coach got fired after 0-8. And then we got a new coach, and he said the same thing. Oh, man, we got to learn this lesson all over again and continue to lose? The only lesson we learned is that we stink. Hey, by the way, I'd like to thank everybody who donated to the Don't Bring Up God fundraiser last week. Greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to continue to help financially support Don't Bring Up God, feel free in any small or large way. You can go to don'tbringupgod.com or mail to Robert Pavlinsky, P.O. Box 4341, Bethlehem, PA 18018. And again, all your financial support will go directly to radio airtime. So I sincerely thank you for that. So God Almighty created this whole amazing universe, the galaxies, the universes. Which is bigger, a universe or a galaxy? I'm not sure. I had a friend once called Alexi, as it just pops into my head. I don't know which is bigger, though. Maybe this caller will inform me. Hey, do you know what's bigger, a universe or a galaxy? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Robert?
Yeah, do you know what's bigger, a universe or a galaxy?
I think it's the universe.
All right, we'll
I
go
think
with
galaxies. I think there's there's a lot of galaxies within a universe. I think.
Intriguing.
Yeah, now the reason I call you, talk about that 10-pound weight dropping on your toe and it turned black.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if the same thing happens to the soul when the world drops a weight on it and Jesus isn't present. And then once, your soul theoretically turns black. And then once Jesus enters and infiltrates, it clears up and heals.
Look at you, man. Beautiful analogy there. And that does happen all the time. Our souls turn black, and Jesus is the healer. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Jehovah Rapha, the God that healeth thee,
Not very creative of you. You got.
Now you're talking about that and also you talk about the pizza and the tomato sauce. I wonder if the Holy Spirit's the proverbial tomato sauce that keeps the heart from clogging up.
All right, now you're stretching it, although that works too. You got some creativity in you. Are you artistic in any way with drawing or sculpting or music or singing or?
Not really. I'm good at making analogies.
Yeah, very nice there. Yeah, that works. That works for me. And sometimes you need analogy to make it much more clear than.
I'm artistic when I'm watching the Philadelphia Eagles. See how they do today.
You got an analogy for them? Never going to the Super Bowl again? What's the analogy?
Hey, easy. Easy. All right, be safe.
All right, take care. Wow, I might have to expect an analogy from Barry every week from now on. Interesting. Huh. Did you write that down, board guy? Yeah, okay. So I'm wondering, you see nature every day of your life, if you take the time to notice. How can somebody appreciate these wonders of life here on earth and not appreciate its maker? I'll never understand that. How can you divorce the two? The book says, these men who exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshipped and serve the creature rather than the creator have stultified themselves through speculation to no purpose, and their senseless hearts were darkened. Darkened, like Barry was saying. You know, the soul darkened and Jesus heals? Yeah, darkened. They claimed to be wise, but turned into fools instead. Hey, nature reflects God's magnificence and power. We got to understand that. Just don't take it for granted. Sunsets. I think the first time I start really looking at sunsets when I was in my 20s, I never stopped to look. I never cared. I was talking to this girl, and she was like perplexed because her grandfather always went out on the porch to watch the sunset and the sunrise. They were like up on a hill. And she never understood, why is he doing that? That doesn't make sense to me. Here's an example of nature. I was thinking about this the other day. It popped into my head. This was a good pop. Some pops aren't. I got to smother them away. You wonder how they get in there. After all these years, a disturbing and out-of-line thought pops in your head. Even now, but less and less as you get closer to God. And when they pop, you just got to get rid of them and turn the other cheek, as they say. Turn the other way and busy yourself with something else. You can't foster that bad pop in your head. You guys know what I'm saying. Don't look at me like I'm the only one again. No. Here's an example of beautiful nature representing God. The wind. The wind. Can you see the wind? No, you can't. But you can immediately see the absence or presence of it. And it's the same with God. You can't physically see God either. But we can absolutely see the effects of God's presence or absence. The presence being peace, joy, and happiness, as opposed to death and disease and starvation, rape, abortion, crime, and so many other things. And we, of course, ourselves reflect God, of course, also. Like a mirror. Like a mirror reflects back to us our bags, wrinkles, and thinning hair. Yeah, sign of aging. Hey, that's a new thing I just developed. Ah! Is that considered? Look at the board guy looking at me like I'm insane. Deranged, like the voice guy, the voice guy said. That can be construed and accepted as a laugh. I kind of like it. Well, it pops out, and I'm allowed to pop that out. But anyway, yeah, the mirror reflecting those signs of aging. And you got to accept that. I mean, stop trying to fight the process of aging. Embrace it. You got to, right? I mean, what choice do you really have? None. So, and all these creams and these little masks, these makeup masks, or I don't know what you call them. You put a mask on and it's supposedly supposed to smooth out your skin and so forth. I guess some of that stuff works. I know a guy who puts on moisturizer a lot, all his life actually. I thought that was kind of feminine, but he did it, and as a result, in his 40s, he looks like he's in his 20s. And as a result, I never used it, so in my 60s or in my 50s, I look like I'm 70. Or 80. I hope that's not true. I wonder if the board guy uses moisturizer. I'm scared to ask him. He won't tell me the truth anyway. Yeah. Who's he kidding? I think he does. Look at that. I'm going to have to observe him a little closer when he's looking the other way.